bring in Matt Taibbi, Rolling Stone flamethrower, who joins us now. All right, give me one. Give me a one-hit wonder, music and sports that you think would be a nice combo platter.
Well, what about the Knack? Did you guys get to that yet?
Well, we thought that My Sharona, they actually had a couple of songs. Good Girls Don't, but I Do. So I thought the Knack actually may have been a 2-hit or 3-hit wonder.
That was the first one I thought of. I mean, 99 Luftballons. How about that?
Yeah, we had that. I had Aha.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Take
yeah,
on
exactly.
Me. But they also had a great video.
Right. But does that count as the same thing? I mean, because the video itself was sort of a iconic one-hit video wonder, right?
Would you rather be Aha or David Tyree?
I'd definitely rather be David Tyree.
Really?
Wouldn't I have to be Danish to be an Aha? Where are they from exactly?
That doesn't matter. I have the magic to be able to make you the lead singer of Aha.
No, I'd rather be David Tyree, even though I'm a Patriots fan. I think that's the ultimate one-hit wonder moment in sports. It has to be, right?
Yeah. Well, we looked at a couple of them. There are a few of them in there. Spud Webb with the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, but he had a whole career, and he was actually pretty good. I mean,
okay, Maurice Claret.
Yeah, Maurice Claret. Yeah, he had one good season.
He had one moment in the national title game where he stole the ball away after it was either a fumble or interception. But after that, didn't do. How about Buster Douglas with the punch against Tyson?
Yeah, he's definitely in boxing, right? He has to be the singular one-hit wonder, right? Or is there anybody else who even comes close there? I can't think of anybody. I mean, what about Christian Okoye in football? Has anyone brought him up?
Well, he led the NFL in rushing that one year. I think he had a couple of years.
Really?
One big year where he beat out Barry Sanders for the rushing title.
Right. But everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing for the next decade, and he was gone like as quickly as he came. Right.
Give me the music group right now.
Right now?
10 years from now, they're playing the Super Bowl.
God, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I work for Rolling Stone. We're still listening to the Who,
Yeah, you're reviewing Boz Scaggs' new album there.
Right, exactly. It's still 1974 in our office.
But you work at Rolling Stone, but you're not up to the music standards that we would expect.
I mean, I cover politics and sports, so I mean, I know absolutely nothing about music. Probably a lot of the music that I listen to are probably all the people you've been mentioning on your shows. I mean, like Afro Man, Because I Got High. Like that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
This whole Incognito Jonathan Martin story, it's crossed over now. Sometimes sports will. Sometimes deliberately, sometimes not deliberately, hand over a sports story, and then the national media runs with it, with the morning shows. Has it hit Rolling Stone where it's some? You guys have done a lot of bullying articles in the last few years.
Yeah. That would be the kind of thing that we would do. I mean, we have done a lot of sports stuff. We did a big thing on Aaron Hernandez earlier this year, and obviously bullying. Look, I mean, who's our audience? Our audience is stoned teenagers, and that's and aging hippies, of course. But for the former group, bullying's a big topic, and I think that's one of the reasons why this story has resonated so much. That and the race factor. It's just, it's something that everybody's had to deal with, and people can understand. There's also the whole workplace safety, workplace intimidation subject that people don't like to talk about. But I think that this whole Incognito story gets to that a little bit as well. I mean, I think it's a hot topic for a lot of people. They can't really talk about it at work, and this is one place where they can kind of discuss all that.
Who would you rather interview, Martin or Incognito?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think you know what you're going to get from an Incognito. I'd be more interested in interviewing Martin, probably. He seems like he's an interesting guy. He's an atypical NFL player. He has a strange background for an NFL football player. Both his parents went to Harvard, and apparently part of the problem with this whole story is that he just doesn't fit in with the ethos of your typical NFL player. And so it would be interesting to see what his point of view on the whole thing is. But I don't know. I mean, it would be more interesting just to be a fly on the wall in that locker room and hear what really went on. And I just don't think we're ever going to get that whole story.
Yeah, but there's a disconnect here, Matt. I mentioned this to Heinz Ward last hour, that it's a big jigsaw puzzle, and there's a really big piece of that puzzle that we can't find right now.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't know what it is. And the more we jump to a conclusion now. So, society says you got to have your opinion. You got to have it right now. And I think we wrapped this up last week. Now, all of a sudden, I keep hearing more and more things that make me go, okay, let me hold on and pump the brakes. Because we go A to Z. Now I'm back at M, N, and O on this story. And I think that there's more to come out here with this.
Well, this is one of the problems with the way the media is set up right now. There's really no way for a modern journalist to get a piece of information and sit on it. Even though sometimes we get information and the whole picture isn't there, your natural instinct as a reporter is to say, look, a lot of this doesn't add up. Why don't we just hold this until we actually know the whole story? And you can't do that in modern media. As soon as you know something, as soon as you know that Jonathan Martin left the team or that Richie Incognito left some salacious voicemails, you got to release that information. But that's not the whole story. And the problem with releasing some of that information is that it ends up being prejudicial sometimes to people, which is why, in an ideal world, a reporter will hold a story until he knows exactly what happened. And we just don't have that luxury anymore in the 24-hour cable universe of waiting on a story until we can actually see what happened.
I wonder if you've ever done this, if you went back in time and in modern era of covering news stories, like Deep Throat or Watergate. like what would have happened with that? Would Nixon have gotten tipped off earlier? Would somebody have had a different sort? Like, I don't know. Because back then you could hold on to something. There weren't that many people. There weren't, the internet and blogs, and I don't know. I wonder about that with history and how we've treated some of these stories. If it was in today's modern era with social media, how different would it be?
Well, I think in that instance, I think what they were trying to do with the Washington Post is releasing whatever information they had was part of an investigative strategy. I think they were trying to flush out other people. I think they had a general idea of what was going on. I think they had a theory. If you read All the President's Men, they started to develop a theory relatively early on once they got onto Donald Segretti and all those people of what the whole Watergate story was.
But it's a brilliant strategy that Ben Bradley had. When you think about it, that you laid breadcrumbs to have more people come out.
Right.
To take a bite out of the breadcrumbs to say, oh, I guess it's okay to talk about, what went on at Watergate.
Right. And that's ideally, as an investigative reporter, that's always what you want to do. You always try to release a story that is self-contained and stands on its own, but if it's done right, it'll flush out more people to tell you more, and that's always kind of the goal of a reporter who's trying to get at the truth. You don't put out things that don't make sense. You don't put out things that are intentionally inflammatory. You just put out a story that states a couple of facts, and you hope that results in more information coming in.
I'll leave you with this. Would you rather be Eric Crouch, Nebraska quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, or Lauryn Hill?
Again, I don't have a musical background, so I'm going to go with Eric Crouch again. I mean, winning the Heisman Trophy, that's just so awesome, and I'd have to go with him.
But he's not.
Where is he now, by the way?
He's doing sideline reporting, I think, for a college football game. I mean, Lauryn Hill can still sing. Eric Crouch is not running the football.
Right. I get it, but just having been there once, it's male fantasy. What can I tell you?
Grammy or a Heisman?
Definitely a Heisman.
Grammy or, Heisman or Academy Award?
Wow, that's pretty close, but I think I'm probably going to go with, look, Shakespeare in Love won an Academy Award. I'm going to go with the Heisman, I think.
Heisman or Pulitzer?
Well, in that case, I got to go with Pulitzer. But then again, Thomas Friedman won the Pulitzer 3 times, so.
You're going to win one day. You know that? No, you are.
Never, Dan. I'll bet you right now I never win a Pulitzer Prize.
Okay, if you win,
money you want.
if you win, you will mention me in this show.
I will definitely do that.
In the first sentence when you win the Pulitzer.
That'll be in my acceptance speech. I'll wear a Dan Patrick mask on stage when I accept the award.
All right. I'll wait for that. Hey, good to visit with you, Matt. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot.
That's Matt Taibbi, columnist for Rolling Stone.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.